Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. Before we get started on today's episode, just want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, pushing to 3,000 subscribers. So if you guys do enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So more rumors, more speculation is swirling around the Jimmy Butler trade, sweepstakes, and saga. So there is a new rumor that the Chicago Bulls now could facilitate a trade to help Jimmy Butler get to the Phoenix Suns. So the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls have apparently had conversations surrounding a potential trade involving Bradley Beal. And that was according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst. He said, the bottom line is that the Bulls and Suns have talked and discussed the concept of Bradley Beal ending up in Chicago. And that has been discussed. But he also said, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's close. Obviously, Beal has a no trade clause. We know the Suns are looking to make a blockbuster trade, and their top priority before the trade deadline is acquiring Jimmy Butler. And right now, what makes the deal tricky is, again, what I've said a million times in different videos, and everybody else is talking about this, Bradley Beal's contract and the no trade clause. Those are two big hurdles right now. So he's set to earn $53.6 million next season, which is going to be top 8 in salaries. This season, he's making like 50, I think, or like whatever it is, somewhere between 49 and 51. And he's the 5th highest paid player in the NBA today. And he's playing nowhere near a top 5 guy. Next year, again, it's going to be like top 8, top 10 contract in the NBA, nowhere near a top 10 player anymore right now at this point in his career at 31 as a player who's always injured, who's missed on average 30 plus games like every season for the past 5-6 years. So that's going to be the biggest hurdle. The other hurdle, again, with the contract is in 2026, he's going to have a player option for $57 million, which he's 1,000,000% going to pick up. So he is still going to be owed $110 million in the next 2 seasons. And so, according to everybody, but also ESPN's Bobby Marks, the Heat have no desire to take on Beal's contract in any deal involving Jimmy Butler, which is like evident. And I'm glad that the front office is not going to do that. There's been speculation that, if the Suns and the Heat can't find a 3rd, 4th, 5th team to facilitate a trade, then what's if the Suns offer Beal and all 3 picks that they have now to the Heat? The Heat don't care. Like, those 3 picks are fine and dandy and important, but Bradley Beal's contract would hinder this Miami Heat's front office from making other moves that would be stuck with Bam, Beal, and Tyler as their big 3 for the foreseeable future, and at least the next 2.5 seasons, which the Miami Heat do not want to do. So right now, the Phoenix Suns are trying to bring in Chicago as that 3rd team, or it could pursue a completely different star. Who knows? Like, they have these trade chips now. As again, like I mentioned, they traded their 2031 first round pick for 3 first round picks, so they can use those to get off of Nurkic because they got Nick Richards and he's been playing really well for them. And he was a backup center for the Hornets. Now he's going to be like a starting center with the Suns, playing with better people on a better team, and he's flourishing so far. And so they have the assets now, essentially, which they can use to maybe make other moves, but their priority still is Jimmy Butler. But Bradley Beal for Zach Lavine, that could be interesting, perhaps. Lavine is having a really good year so far. He's averaging 24 points per game, just like Tyler Hero is. 4.9 rebounds, 4.5 assists, just like Tyler, but his shooting percentages are just off the charts. Shooting 51% from the field, 4% from 3 in his 41 games with the Bulls. He's healthy too as well. So Zach Lavine could be interesting, but he also doesn't have the best contract either. So I don't know what's going to happen, but there's been reports that Detroit, Toronto, the Wizards even could be a team that's interested. Now the Bulls could be a team that's interested. The Bucks. There are so many options out there. There's also a report like from last week or whatever. I made a video on this. You guys can go check that out. That 15 teams, up to 15 teams in the NBA would be willing to get involved in this trade somehow, whether it's to facilitate players, picks, take on extra money, whatever it may be. But 10 more days till the trade deadline, and it's going to get a lot noisier as we approach that deadline with the Jimmy Butler situation. So, can the Bulls come in as that third team and make it work for the Miami Heat? We'll see, because I know Jimmy Butler has been a nuisance and a headache. He's been suspended. That second suspension is over as of today. Don't know if Jimmy's going to play today, but he is available. He will be with the team. Not sure if he's going to be benched, if they start him or whatever, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.